Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite rambling redhead. It's a couple days after the wedding now, and we've all recovered. I guess it was a week after the wedding, and I got a day off work. What is my duck doing? He's got like his head stuck in his butt. I don't know. I guess his nose is cold, maybe. I have no idea. Anyway, back here in the house, getting ready to start all these next projects. So the next big thing that we got going on is Thanksgiving has been moved to our house. It was going to be at an Airbnb, and now it's going to be here. So it said my wife's old garden has now come down. The fences are gone and whatnot. And I'm getting ready to paint the back of the house. So we started painting the front of the house. I think it's called Mariner Blue. And we got two sides in the front done, not last summer, but the summer before. Never got around to the back. You know, life happened, whatever. So we're getting to it now. I got the paint out. I got my paint mixer getting cleaned off here in a minute. And yeah, we're going to start cleaning the, I already cleaned the back of the house. Brought home pressure washer earlier this week and cleaned it all up. And I'm going to start painting here in a little bit. It's about 10 o'clock right now. It's a beautiful Texas fall day. It's like 68, 65 out here, something like that. Overcast. So it should be a really good day today for working. I've got this monstrosity going on in my backyard right now, where Drake has built himself a fort out of all the stuff that was in my yard. So that's cool. And actually I found a picture. We'll see if I can remember to put it in here. It's taken from, I think, about here, looking out into the yard. And you can just see what our yard looked like when we moved in. And it's a huge difference. There was a bunch of trees back here. There was this weird A-frame. There was a swing set at one point, but didn't have swings on it. It had roses growing on it. And the other building that was here when we moved in was still back here. And it's a whole different look. It's a ton's changed. But I'm going to start painting on the back of the house. I have to go help a friend with building he's doing a front yard pallet deck. So that should come out pretty nice. Give him a nice sitting area in his front yard. We're going to do that this afternoon. If you notice, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but to get our homeowner's insurance approved for this house, for whatever reason, they kept making me cut down trees. This tree has to go, that tree has to go, this tree has to go, so on and so forth. So the only tree that I actually have that is still on my property is that ugly thing right there that very rarely does anything or has much on it. Just because I haven't come back here and cut it down, frankly, because I think it's ugly. That is the only trees on my property. Yet you may notice that I have a canopy from a pecan tree that I don't own. I have branches from a dead tree that I don't own. I have another dead tree that's falling on my fence and my chicken coop. And my neighbors who have who rent their home, both sides rent from landlords. One of them, this one, uses a lawn care company, and they came out today and decided they were going to blow leaves as well. Well, they just blew them all into my yard. Well, I don't own any trees, so I don't see any reason that I need to have all these leaves in my yard. So they're going back. I don't know what in the world this lawn care guy was thinking. He was going to blow all these leaves into my yard from theirs, but nah, they're going back in their yard. So we got all this. Previous owners loved concrete pavers for days and days and days. They used to be, this whole area used to have a big, go to beer, used to have a big paver patio on it. Got them, they're over here. It's a bunch of bricks. Like this is, let's see if I can show you here. Like under my table here, that's brick. Like a walled section that had been knocked down, and they just laid it on the ground and said, oh yeah, it makes the patio bigger, it'll be great. It's hideous. Absolutely hideous, and I hate it. So that's got to go before Thanksgiving. I'm probably going to have to get a hold of the big dump trailer and go make a trip to the dump. But like I have just a random stack of bricks. I don't know, been here since we moved in. There used to be a shed here, but that was taken down, and that pad that it was on's also got to go. And this last little section, they had this hideous paneling that's like interwoven into the fence. It's been here since we moved in. I got to get rid of that last section, and there's some other little cleanup things that I got to do back here that are pretty much all going to the dump. So, but yeah, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to go and mix up this paint, hopefully. I guess I didn't do a great job of cleaning off my paddle last time I used it, so I spent a few minutes doing that. But after that, I mix up this paint, and I'm going to try and get a coat of paint slapped on this house before I leave to go and work on that patio. So come along with me. Alright, there we go. Doesn't it look terrible? No, I gotta go grab a brush now. This siding that we have, I was just talking to my wife about it because we actually have, there's a panel of siding missing there because when we moved in, the house had a big sliding glass door there. And sliders are broken on it, didn't work really well when we moved in, and it just got worse and worse and worse until eventually we just had to take it out, close in the wall, and put a door there. It's not the right door. It's not what should be there. It's not an exterior door, but it's under that big cover, so it never gets wet anyway. But we had a family that lived with us for a little bit last year, for I think it was 3 or 4 months, and they had a dog, and their dog wanted in the house one day, and it ate the bottom out of the door. So now that door really doesn't need to be there. I need to replace it, and I need to reframe the door because I framed it for that door to get something in there because we didn't have the money at the time to buy a door to put in there. So I got to reframe that and finish that out at some point. But the siding that I have is aluminum, and it's got like this wood grain finish to it, and it doesn't exist anymore. We can't find it anywhere, and we can't find matching close siding that's like the same measurements or dimensions or anything. So we're going to end up having to come up with some sort of solution to get siding on here eventually. I'd like to rip. So underneath the siding is the original wood siding that was on the house. I can't think of, yeah, I can come over here and see it still. Okay, I'll show you. So if you look right here, same as is in our pantry, that is the same siding. It goes all the way around the house, obviously. So one day, I just don't really feel like the house has the value in it after we do it to pull this siding off, pull the wood siding off, put insulation in all the walls, because right now there's no insulation in this house whatsoever, minus that little wall section and the garage room, and put actual like zip system around it and weather seal it really well, wind seal it really well, put new windows in it, put hardy board siding on it, and repaint it again. Just not sure that the house has the value in that after that's done for it to be worth doing, if that makes sense. So but now I'm at the step where I get the paintbrush out and cut in all those lines that I can't hit with the roller. And yeah, and then I'll wait a little bit and come back and do a second coat on it, and that'll be that for the blue. And I'll have to get one of these days we'll have to come out and do all the white on all the windows and all the trim around the eave and the soffit and all that good stuff. And then I got to pull that down. Well, pull it up. Actually, it's going up onto the roof because this cover, it's fiberglass or tin or something like that. I don't know. I've never taken it off, but I'm going to redo all the way around it and put some new posts in it, because right now it has this I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but a huge lean to it. It drops like 10 inches from this side to the other side. So I'm going to redo that whole thing so it looks a lot nicer. and put wood around it so we paint it to match the house and that kind of thing. A couple posts and whatnot, it's concrete, and then eventually we'll build the deck out here underneath it that will tie into the post, and the whole thing will be, railing, that kind of stuff. It'll look real nice eventually. But once again, it's finding that balance point between what's it worth adding to this house that's actually going to have some sort of return. I understand I won't get 100% return on my investment on any of this stuff, but is it worth ripping all the walls out of this to put insulation in it? And if we move out of it eventually and get a renter in here, is that going to add $100 a month because now the house has insulation, that kind of thing? So that's the thought process for me anyway, to make that kind of decision, because it's definitely not our forever home. It's just our home right now. So yeah, I'll grab my lunch. I'm going to go eat lunch, and then I'm going to grab a paintbrush and get back at it. Also, check out my super healthy lunch that Drake packed for me. I got cucumbers with ranch and pretzels and apples and a ham and cheese roll up and a yogurt. So yay for my wife making me not be so fat. So fun fact, I'm the heaviest I've ever been in my life right now at 230 pounds versus 2007 when I was 186. So yeah, got a long way to go on that, but I'm eating right food. Out here now working on this deck project. The second layer together here. Once we're done, the whole thing will wrap around this tree real nicely. A little bit of an update. It's coming right along. Moose is doing a great job. Alright, it's late. It's dark. It's not late. It's like 7 something. Almost 8. But I got the deck done. It's like 200 square foot deck. I've never done a floating deck with pallets before. But it came out good. I should face the light here so you can see me. But yeah, it came out really well. I'll probably try and film another clip here tomorrow when I come by. I need to bring over 2 more cinder blocks from the backyard. But yeah, the Moose did a great job. Travis's idea worked out really well. And well, they're excited for it. So yeah, there it is. This is another thing that's going on in my life right now. Driving with my teenager is driving me, and it's dark. And he's in my car, which is not the greatest car for a kid to be driving anyway, but he's doing great. He has done excellent today. I really can't complain about it at all. We're gonna go down the highway in the dark here. We're gonna see how that goes. He kind of struggles a little bit with the whole center of the lane thing. He likes to let me hug the other lane or the curb, but other than that, he's doing really well. You're doing a good job, Moose. He was a huge help in getting that deck done. He wasn't much help with painting the house today, however, since he slept until noon. Also, don't paint. But yeah, we're headed home, gonna have some dinner, and I'll definitely pick this up tomorrow because I have to come by the house over here, drop off a couple of cinder blocks. So I'll definitely pick it up there so I can show you guys that that deck in the daylight. And yeah, so I'll see y'all tomorrow. Alright, so I'm back over here during the daytime, and this thing looks great in the sunlight for a pallet deck. I brought a couple more of the cinder blocks that live in my backyard over here to finish it out. But so these deck tiles, they're a plastic deck tile from IKEA is what's going to be going on top. Tomorrow we're going to do some coping around it and seal it up so nothing can get underneath it. It's going to get a nice gray stain on it. And these big gray tiles. And Mr. Travis right here will have himself a beautiful deck in the front yard for his little boy to play on. So that's going to do it. It's been your favorite redhead. Talk to you later.